Oh, I know.
He calls me about 1 o'clock. He's at home. Hey, what's going on? That's not him.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good news. That's good. That's good.
That's what I thought.
Glad to hear that.
I thought he was calling me to tell me that they postponed it or something.
And he's,
Oh, no, it's all done. I've been home for an hour.
oh, he may walk through the door, huh?
Huh?
He may walk through the door, huh?
Oh,
I'm glad that he's good.
I don't get it.
We're ready? Okay, we're going to call to order. Welcome to the Historic District Commission. Today is September the 10th, 6 p.m., or we're starting a little after 6. We're going to have roll call, please.
Commissioner Adams?
Here?
Commissioner David? Commissioner Campbell?
Here.
Commissioner Bales?
Here.
Commissioner Burke?
Here.
Commissioner Allen?
Present.
Commissioner Clark?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Agenda approval?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Second. Public comments. Any public comments? Oh, I thought you just approved the minutes. Oh, excuse me, approval of the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes, except for the couple minor corrections that I sent to Paul. They're just typos
Thank
before the
you.
meeting.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, now we'll go to public comments. Any public comments? Okay, it looks like we have 5 cases on the agenda this evening. We have, just to give a little history, we have 7 historic district areas in our community. Today, we're going to be reviewing a case in Seminole Hills, GM Modern Housing, Franklin Boulevard, and Fairgrove. And so with that being said, Paul, we can start with our first applicant.
All right, 25-028, 75 Cherokee, replace wood, cedar, shingle siding, wood lap siding, and approval of installed windows on the dwelling without a permit. So as you can see, the property is located right here. This is the property right here. Overview. Located within Seminole Hills Historic District, consists of a 2-story arts and crafts style dwelling. Whoops. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and tell you what pictures are pre-alteration and what pictures obviously are post-op alteration. So now this is a picture of the house pre-alteration. So you can see original window, vinyl replacement, original, vinyl replacement, and these are all original. So this is the side, vinyl, original. These 3 are they original or replacement?
Original and then the next.
Yep.
Or wait, which?
This one right here.
3 on the bump out original.
Okay, original, then replacement, original, and original. So this is just a slide of the siding. So now these are the current photos. So let me go back a few. So this, let's work off this. So these are all replacement windows in here. So these were original windows replaced with vinyl windows. Vinyl window to vinyl window. So the rear, vinyl, we're keeping this window. This was original wood, went to vinyl. Then this was a set of 3 original windows that are now slider. Vinyl to vinyl. This was original to vinyl. These were all vinyl to vinyl, and I think this was original to, let me go back really quick so we can go to that one. Okay, all right, so yeah, there we go, so that was original then. And I can obviously go back to the pictures if you wish. So again, this is what was original, and then this is what's going on now, being the new vinyl replacement windows. Request, obtain support to replace original windows with new vinyl windows having interior mullions and one sliding window. The one sliding window is, of course, the one in the rear of the structure. Obtain support to replace vinyl windows with matching units and some having internal mullions. Applying new siding to the dwelling's facades. These are National Park Service standards. Continuation, these are the Pontiac Historic District guidelines or criteria. Dwelling siding. The applicant requests to remove the original wood horizontal lap siding on the first floor of the dwelling and cedar shake siding on portions of the dwelling's exterior wall gable area roughly. And new horizontal, roughly what he wants to do is he wants to put new horizontal composite type lap siding as well as composite type faux cedar siding, or the applicant's requesting to put fiber cement type siding, that being lap and cedar. For the HDC to approve the siding, the applicant must provide evidence that the siding cannot be repaired. So this is the HDC siding guidelines, which you're very familiar with. And windows, the applicant has removed true divided light windows and replaced vinyl windows from the dwelling and inserted replacement windows within the structure without a permit. The new windows are vinyl double hung units with internal mullions, vinyl slider units with no interior mullions. Based on staff research, the applicant did not obtain a permit or HCC approval to install the new units in the dwelling. So these are basically the window standards based on the guidelines. We have recommended, which is roughly not replacing the unit itself, replacing parts of the unit that are defective. Then we have acceptable. That's another level where roughly the window needs to be found to be beyond repair, and the modern replacement window emulates the window operation, type, transparency, finish, window components, and profiles. And 3, if the structure has both original and modern replacement windows, the HDC may review the request with the following parameters. The new unit shall be sized to fit the existing historic opening and shall match the existing trim and other features. And when replacing non-historic windows, the new units can either duplicate the appearance of the existing window or, with HCC approval, may replicate the missing windows in the house. So this is staff recommendation. Roughly, for approval, all new windows shall conform to the HCC window guidelines or the National Park Service 10 standards. Repair existing siding or replace existing siding with the same material, so forth and so on, fiber cement siding, if the commission finds the existing siding is beyond repair. And denial, removal of original windows, installation of vinyl windows with interior mullions, installing composite, or let's say fiber cement siding that does not match the board width, and so forth and so on. And that's the sample motions. I'll go back to picture of the house. There we go.
Thank you, Paul. And before we move on, we usually do you have some questions, Commissioner?
This is Commissioner Clark. Paul, I want to refresh my memory. I recall at a previous meeting, you provided a timeline of events where you indicated that you had been out to the property before the windows were replaced. Is that correct?
Yeah, what I did is I set up a meeting with the applicant so that we could talk about the siding. But at the meeting, I, of course, indicated that, don't do any work until you come in front of the commission. And, yeah, unfortunately, after that, I got a call from code enforcement, and code enforcement indicated to me that there was I don't want to call it a ticket, but there was a action at the property by code enforcement. And, yeah, so that's the whole thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then, we saw a mixture of vinyl windows that were there for some time, and even
Yeah.
before the homeowner
Yep.
purchased.
Yep, quite a lot. Yep.
And, from memory, I think it was 10.
Yep.
And then, there are 29 windows that were original, and of those, only 4 remain at this point. Is that correct?
Roughly, yeah. The large, I think, leaded glass rectangular windows at each of the gable ends, yeah. They're lovely windows. I'm glad you're keeping those. Yeah, so they're existing.
Okay, thank you. And just one more question. Were the windows, and this was probably for the homeowner, were the windows installed by a contractor? Was a contractor hired to handle all of this? So the contractor may have been the person to
For a permit.
obtain a permit for the work?
Do you want to answer up here if you don't
Yes,
mind?
let's have the, can you state your full name, please?
James Keith Maincheese,
Okay.
I'm the homeowner at 75 Cherokee. Yes, the work was done by a contractor.
Okay. And were you aware that a permit is required for replacing windows, or did you hire the contractor and expect that that person would take care of all of the details?
So let's not press my contractor about that. I'm willing to accept responsibility for, whatever.
My office has a lady in the
You can come to the podium, please. Thank you.
I work for Performance Remodeling, and we have a person in the office that calls before every job to every city and asks if a permit's required. So, and we pull, you can look it up, our record, we pull permits on hundreds and hundreds of jobs a year. If it's required and they tell us it's required, we pull them. So whoever they had spoke to that day or whatever the case may be, and we keep all of our records very closely in the office, so I can have those given to me once the office is open and let you see what they were.
Yeah, if you could, if you don't mind, because we have two individuals that actually do that. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Paul, I'd like to have him state his full name and the name of your company, please.
It's Bob Karbowski, and Performance Residential Remodeling is the name of the company.
Okay, then we have a question from Commissioner Allen.
Yeah, just a question for you. Have you done other work in the city of Pontiac?
I have,
And have you had to pull permits for other residents?
absolutely. Ton
And
of it.
is there a reason why you would believe you shouldn't need one for this?
A lot of cities don't require permits for windows, some don't require it for siding. The city of Rochester doesn't even require it for a roof, so.
But here in
I don't know
Pontiac,
why the rules are made the way they are.
Here in Pontiac, you have used permits to replace windows?
I don't know. I know
You're
that
not
I've
sure. Okay.
used multiple, because I've had one guy that owns about 14 houses here, and he did roofs with me, and I've known that I had to pull permits for him. But I don't know what else. I'm not really on top of that part of it.
So you really can't tell us?
I can't. I'm not the person in
And
the
do
office
you know
that does
who
that.
may have allowed this to happen without a permit?
Well, if we order windows and it's time to put them in and they've already made the calls and it's noted in our files, then we just send it out to install. So somebody would have made the call, and if they told us it was okay, then we
Do you
would just
know
send it out for
who they
install.
may have talked to or spoken to or something?
I
I'm
could
trying to
find
make it
out first
legitimate
thing.
that you actually made a phone call to somebody in the city and they said, yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Well, you have to understand, we do 1,400 homes a year.
No, I
And I
understand.
have a lady in my office named Karam that calls for every permit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any idea who she's talked to in any city
Okay,
for any permit ever,
okay.
because I'm just the sales manager for the company
Thank
But
you.
and general
as
manager.
far as you know, it wasn't necessary.
He's going to get that information for us, Commissioner Allen.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have no
He's gonna
idea
contact the
what
office.
the reasoning was, but, I mean, that happens in cities all the time where they say, no, you're okay, you're fine, and then some cities say, yes, you need them for different various things that we do.
Okay, thank you.
And just a follow-up. So your company, someone called, the woman that you referenced, and checked to see whether or not a permit was necessary. But prior to the replacement, the city planner Paul was out at the site and said, don't do anything until you come before the HDC.
That's
I've never met Paul, and all I can say is from my first time being on the street, most of the houses have vinyl windows and have vinyl siding. So, I mean, from what I can see, you're telling me no, but right across the street from them, they have vinyl windows and vinyl siding. Okay, well, I'm saying I couldn't answer that. I never met Paul until today.
Okay, thank you. So just to get some clarity, once again, we're talking about the 29 original windows. Am I correct? That was changed after Paul made a statement not to do any further work on the home until you come before the HDC board. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, we changed all the, original and vinyl windows.
So 25 total
25.
changed, the original and 40 new. 10 were already vinyl.
10, right, I understand. Okay, so then you, if you could go ahead and just give us details about your home and why you're here today and which Paul has already gone over. But is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, all right, so on the siding, we're gonna make it real easy. We're just seeking, sorry. Okay. Yeah, on the siding, we're gonna make it real easy. We're, forget about the Ascend composite, forget about the thick hardy artisan lap. We're just looking for hardy plank. Now, there's the hardy plank without the, or I should say, with a corner trim piece was installed with unanimous approval by Commissioner David's board in 2018 at 57 Fairgrove. All we're looking for is doing the exact same thing on this house. If you look at the history, when that house got the hardy, it had its skirting removed. It had the corners on the woven corners, you could call it, on the shakes removed as well. As I said, in 2018, this was approved with unanimous consent by the Pontiac HDC. We're seeking approval for, fiber cement, and we're looking to do the job right, get weather-resistive barrier on there to code. We've, since our last meeting, engaged with multiple contractors, looking, for anyone that's able to do the job as the HDC has suggested. We've found, one good lead on a company that may be willing to, go down this path in terms of, refinishing, replacing the wood. A lot of wood's going to have to come off that house to, fix the boards. Another aspect of that, based on the HDC recommendations, the previous owners left us with, the original trim, much of it destroyed and wrapped with aluminum. We've taken the HDC guidelines under consideration with respect to the window trim. We're going to do that job, right, rebuild new trim that's there. We're gonna have to pull back a lot more of those boards to trim those windows in. So we're looking at quite a lot of, wood siding replacement. Already, 50%, 60%, something like this. much rather do it right with hardy plank, like has been approved for, many of our neighbors before. With regard to the windows, we are perfectly willing to work with the HDC to get to an appropriate muntin configuration and sash proportions. I don't think 120 grand of exterior mullion, I can't do it. Can't put, the external muntin windows in every hole in that house. There's no way. It's not in the cards for me. We're prepared to, we know you've entered consent decrees with citizens before. It's our fourth time meeting you, right? We've been it's been obstructed one way or another. We've, continued along far enough. We got to get this house weatherized by winter. We're trying to move forward with something, doing our best here. I think that's it from me.
I've got a question for you. What house did you reference that had the siding replaced?
57 Fairgrove,
57 Fairgrove
2018.
in 2018. And I'm going to make a statement. Whether it was approved in 2018, there's still guidelines that we have to follow. And we don't know in order for them to approve that they would have had to follow one of the SHPO guidelines, which is interior guidelines, which is what we're looking at. So I'm not sure what the condition is of it. I mean, you can tell us they approved it, but it may have been so deteriorated to where none of it could have been repaired. So commissioners have any questions about that? I mean, I thank you for bringing it to our attention, but.
Yeah, Commissioner Bales.
Yes.
Sell the house back.
Yeah, I'm on that point, at that point, the meeting minutes were recorded by court reporting service. There's, the full transcript available. They get into that. HDC commissioners were speculating on the percent of siding replacement required there. There's good discussion there. They got into the economics of this as well. At the time, the HDC was approving, permitting vinyl windows on 3 sides of the house, as well as, long story short, the economics come up in it. This was a, church project, rehabbing the house, volunteer work, this and that, and they still say, look, they're coming out upside down on these jobs, even with the standard of work which was allowed then. If this if the same standards had been applied to that job then, very clearly it would have been quitclaim deeded back to the city, and it would still be vacant. So I'm concerned, frankly, about the precedents which we're setting, and that's described in no uncertain terms in that transcript by the people managing that project then.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Bales?
Commissioner Bales, regarding the siding, and I don't think we as a commission have an issue with cement board, but on a case-by-case basis, we have to look at the details of the home. When we were on site with you, we discussed this, quite a bit in terms of the corners, the skirting around the base of the siding. And I was under the impression that it was sort of agreed upon that using fiber cement board lap siding, you were not going to be able to achieve that level of detail. Has that changed since then?
The skirting is able to be achieved with the fiber cement detail. There's also, we've talked to James Hardy again, there's the option to do the metal corner. So it does achieve still that pointed, please explain this better than I
Yeah,
can.
so we would
It's not the-
prefer a normal install as, has been approved on other homes in the past.
Well, sorry, let me interrupt you there. I think therein lies the problem that the normal install is going to be very difficult, especially on a house just like yours. And I think that's
Yeah, yeah.
where,
Okay, I
it-
misspoke, so.
no, that's fine.
In
Yep.
normal colloquial, what I'm trying to say is, simply the corner detail, right? We can replicate the skirting, right? We can match the reveal that's on there now, the 5-inch reveal. We can, the hardy plank has the texture, looks like cedar. The one exception we'd like to take, based on, 57 Fairgrove, 39 Ivy, we can keep going, we would prefer to do, what I'm going to say is a normal install as recommended by the James Hardie Corporation for the corner detail.
And I think I would just need more information on what that detail is going to look like to be able to make a decision on it. If there's a metal trim piece that does a good job of replicating what we're seeing with the wood siding, I would move towards a position of like, okay, that might be acceptable. But without seeing an example, a mock-up, again, we're kind of talking about nothingness. I forgot what I was going to add, but it'll come to me.
I just want to make clear that each home is an individual context. They're all unique, they're all different. Some of them, there are multiple examples of in a neighborhood. The GM Modern Housing, Fairgrove, you'll see a number of properties where the design, the layout, they're repeated. But your home is particularly unique, which is significant. You know this. It's a beautiful home. It's the only example of its kind in the neighborhood and in any of our historic districts. There are other bungalows, but they're not like yours. Yours is of an exceptional design, which makes it a more challenging case for us to review and more important for us to uphold the standards. Just for the context, so referencing other cases where you did it before, you proved it here and you proved it there, it's a different context. There might have been different details, and it wasn't this board that reviewed those cases. We've had extensive training from the State Historic Preservation Office. We've reviewed guidelines repeatedly. We're really well versed in the standards that we've committed to uphold. So we're taking our job seriously, which is why you're here before us again.
We're also taking this seriously. It's our home and a lot of money. I mean, we respect your job, but yes, I know we have a beautiful special home. I'd love to stay in it and not be forced out of it, because that's kind of the position we're in at this point. So, I don't know.
Question for you.
Yes.
What do you really want me to approve? Point blank, just simply put, what do you want me to approve?
So I'd love to get out of here with the hardy plank on there, and then, let's switch, let's get the correct historical Muntin configuration and, I should say, like grid pattern and sash proportion. Can't do the external grids for you.
When you say that about the grid pattern, you're talking about the lower windows to more mimic the original?
Yeah,
I'm assuming?
Let's.
You want to leave the uppers like they are, take the mullions out of the lowers? Is that what you're considering?
At the very least. I think we had a productive discourse with Ms. Clark on site before it was cut short, let me say.
Okay.
Regarding the sash proportions of those 4 street-facing windows at the top. If you don't, bleed me of all the money I have, it's like, yeah, we can order new windows, which are more appropriate, for sure.
Well, my question to you would be, monetarily speaking, if this is you seem to be telling me that it's rather unfair for us to decide and not in your favor. When you were asked not to do anything to the house, you did it anyway? It leads me to believe something other than what you're asking me to do now.
so we're looking to weatherize the house. We're looking to make it secure. You know, when I was a single guy living there in the frat house, it is what it is. But, you know, I mean, we're looking at having children one day. I'm going to make my home secure, right? We got to the point we're not living like this anymore. Put new windows in it. It's regrettable. There was a little scheduling mix-up, let's say miscommunication. I thought that we would go forward, get some siding approved, do the job, take notes. It's not what happened, but, it is what it is. Water under the bridge now. Let's, come up with a solution.
I don't have any more questions for you. Is there anything that you'd like to tell me? Or I want to make sure that I've heard you well.
I think that's it from my end.
Do you have any more questions? Did we all fully understand what the homeowner is requesting? Okay. Then we'll move on to our motions.
The motions are up there.
Okay. Do we have a motion on the table? Anyone? The request based on the Secretary of Interior says 246 remove it. Somebody moved to deny. Any motions? Recommendations?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I move to deny this request of a certificate of appropriateness based on the Secretary of the Interior standards 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10 for the following reasons. The material that you want to use doesn't apply to the standard. The method that you've used so far to create this situation was in and of your own to do, having been told or asked not to do it. That is my motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Stacy, you beat me to it. I just want to make sure that the motion though references standard number 2, not number 3, for the record. It's a long way to look, I know.
For me, it is, yeah.
Okay. So the motion is denied. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Nay. All against? Nay. She said nay, not me. Okay.
All right, I'll move on to the next case.
We move on to the next case.
Okay, this is 25-42. A 47 Omar, roof replacement, and we're going to add a rear deck repair. So this is the, anyway, where the red icon is, that's where the house is, roughly at Gage, and that is the east side of Omar. Roughly, the house was built in 1920. It's in the GM Modern Housing District. The site consists of a two-story dwelling with a slate roof on parts of the dwelling. Roughly, the main part of the house is slate. There is a modern type addition out, let's say, to the rear of the house. That's asphalt shingles, but the applicant is going to be only looking to replace the slate tiles on the existing roof. The dwelling, well, I said marginal condition because it's the fact that the roof does look like it's, dated, and does have a number of cracks and so forth and so on, which the applicant is here with her daughter, so she has some pictures as well as they have some verbal items of state about the existing condition and why they want the roof to be replaced with dimensional shingles. So this is a picture of the existing roof. The picture of the roof. So this is the original request was a charcoal type material, but the applicant has another material that she is going to show you. So they're going to explain that when they are up here at the podium. So roughly replace deteriorated slate tiles with new asphalt dimensional shingles on the roof's dwelling's main roof. Repair areas of deteriorated rear deck material. This is 2, 5, and 6, and then 3, 5, and 7. And roughly, you're familiar with this. This is the roof replacement criteria. So what we want to look at is number 3, when damaged beyond repair, replace with synthetic shingles or other materials that closely resemble the appearance of the original materials in color, thickness, surface finish, and sheen. Roughly, staff recommends approval if the commission can find that the roof is totally deteriorated, that being the slate roof, and requires replacement. And there are the sample motions. Yep.
Thank you. You can have the applicant come to the podium.
Hello. I'll start. My name is Joel. I'm a contractor with an office downtown Pontiac at Lawrence and Saginaw. Love the city. Paul's been great to work with, so thank you. Been an awesome experience. So we are the other Performance Roofing and Siding. We're not Performance Remodeling. No association. We're in Pontiac. They're in Shelby. So anything, let's get that out. We pull permits. We are pulling a permit here. The roof is 105 years old. The roof is incredible. I love historic societies. I love the old buildings down here. Love them. But this roof's 105 years old, and I can't even walk on it safely to do a repair. Now, if I did a repair, we're still talking like double what it would be, and to replace it with something other than asphalt, we're talking like 3 to 4 times, a significant amount, more than the home would be worth, frankly. So I would love to do that. If I could just get Bobby to pay for it, we'd be good. But that's why we're here, is so Bobby doesn't have to pay for a new slate roof, if possible. So I'll turn it over to her daughter.
Hi, I'm her daughter. I'm Joey, last name Heron. I'm Bobby, with Bobby Heron, my mother. Like he said, that roof is pretty old. The conditions of the roof is pretty, I actually have a picture of where in my room, there's a hole from water damage from the roof. I can show that to you as soon as I pull up the actual picture. I wanted to bring that to the attention. So that's why we're hoping we can get it approved today, due to water damage coming actually into the home at this point. Like he said, we've been there, I'm 51, and I've been there, my mother's been there for over that. So if we can get it approved, that would be great, beneficial long-term. We'd like to stay in the neighborhood, but if this is something that we can't do, we probably, like he said, it'd be something we have to probably sell due to the condition of us just wanting to keep up our current home. But let me see if I can find the photos for you so they're on my phone. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mom, where is your phone?
It's just leaking, and it's unrepairable.
It's leaking, it's
Simply put.
unrepairable.
Question, just short question. What kind of material do you want to put up there?
We want to put on standard dimensional shingles like this one here. So this is a timberline shingle.
Okay. Yeah, you can, but it's really not necessary.
It's not necessary.
We understand. In the past, we've approved removal of slate and the installation of that type of shingle. We've done that before, and if that's what you're wanting to use, that's my only question for you. The material is correct, and I understand the slate. You can't repair it. I thoroughly understand that. Okay, the lifespan of most slate roofs is around 100 years, give or take. And that house is 100 years, isn't it, or nearly?
1920.
Right, so the product has end-of-life cycle. So now you want to put it on an approved roof that we've already approved for other people doing the same thing. So if that's what you're asking us to approve, my particular vote would be yes. But that answers my question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I have one. Is color a concern, or are they free to put any color? They like this brown color. It's called hickory. So I just don't know. There was a picture of the home, if that would be approved. We want to make sure the color is approved too.
Could you pull up the picture of the home again?
Yeah. So the color is, It's brown. It's probably brown.
It's a medium earth tone.
Yeah.
That's the color of it, what you're going to use is a medium earth tone, for lack of a better description.
Exact one, if possible.
Okay.
An alternative if it has to go a different way.
The one you're holding up there actually looks pretty close to the house. I'm familiar with the house that's on my street.
Oh, cool.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Burke?
Burke. I move to approve or recommend approval to remove existing roof material on the house and install the brown asphalt dimensional shingle on the dwelling.
Second.
Okay, all in
Is that the hickory
favor?
one?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I just said brown.
Did you say brown?
It's called hickory, just to be
Yeah.
clear.
It's called hickory, okay.
Color's your choice anyway.
Thank you.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays?
All right, you guys, thank you. Have a great night, and we'll get this leaking stopped once we pull a permit.
Thank you, guys.
and say
Good.
31
Thank you.
next time. Say 31 next time, not 50.
Give you your certificate of appropriateness. So, if you don't get it to me, if I don't get it to you by Friday, like 12, email me. Okay, because I know you need to get it done quick.
Thank you.
Yep.
You guys have one of the best looking houses on the street.
All right,
We're ready.
so this is HGC 25-013 for 152 West Lawrence Street. This is a request for a door review. So the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for a door replacement. This is the location map. The house is located right in this area. It's in the Franklin Boulevard Historic District. For the process, the proposal seeks approval for the work completed on the site without a permit for the removal of modern replacement doors to insert new replacement doors that match the historic style and character of a Queen Anne revival dwelling. These are photos of the dwelling from 2008 and then current from 2025. These are the wooden steps and railings, and this is the replacement door that's currently there. The other door. National Park Service door replacement guidelines. In accordance with the Secretary of the Interior's standards and the guidelines for rehabilitating historic buildings, replacing a missing historic door with one that matches the historic door is preferable if physical, pictorial, or photographic evidence exists to document its appearance. Absent that, the door may be replaced with a new unit that is compatible with the style and character of the historic building. These are the standards of approval for the National Park Service. The most relevant are standards number 2, 5, and 6. And the City of Pontiac Historic Guidelines, the most relevant are standards number 3, 5, 7, 10, and 11. Staff findings, the addition of modern replacement doors inserted without a permit within the dwelling do not match the dwelling's architectural style. The proposed wood door example, at a minimum, replicates some of the features found on a Queen Anne-style dwelling door. This is the proposed replacement door. Staff recommends approval for the following alterations to the dwelling: installation of historically accurate exterior doors, which may or may not have windows/light areas, rectangular recessed panels, colored glass, or decorative trim detail. And motion, sample motion.
Would the applicant like to come up to the podium and say a few things? Thank you. Back there. Thank you. If you can just state your name.
David Fritzinger.
All right, Mr. Fitzinger. Tell us about why you're here and about your doors that you replaced without a permit. Can you hear me?
Could you repeat that?
Tell us about your property and the doors that you want to replace or have.
Well, the property is vacant. It's been registered with the city. It's been vacant for several years. I've owned it since the mid-'90s, approximately. There's two front doors. The doors, I think there's a picture. Yeah, you just looked at the picture. Mm-hmm. The previous picture are the doors that we installed earlier this spring. I do, most Saturdays, I do most of the work myself. I've been doing that for most weekends for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been working on that house on the inside. The doors, personally, that's not an attractive door to me. But the doors that we put up, I thought were lovely doors, very functional. But someone apparently didn't like the door. I don't know why they didn't like it, but they didn't like it. So therefore, I'm proposing that we replace those two doors, front doors, with a door like this. And I'm not, I'm probably in over my head in terms of the historic district. When they cite all these national park standards, I'm not familiar with them, nor have I ever studied them.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, Commissioner Burke.
In the packet, it says that you're going to be replacing 6 doors. So all of the doors that had been replaced with the metal half moon would be replaced with that style.
We don't have 6 doors.
Actually, yeah, you do. You do have side doors. One that, let's say, says faces on the railroad tracks, and you do have some rear doors too.
We didn't
see any permits in there pulled for replacing those.
We have 2 rear doors and 2 front doors.
Well,
Six.
yeah, so, yeah. Because what I counted, there's a front door, then you have roughly 2 front doors, let's say, one that being the front door to the dwelling on the porch. Then you have the side door that, hey, you have the new,
There
new
is no
stairs going
side
to.
door.
Then
That-
you
that
have,
is-
I believe, 1 or
there's-
2 more doors on the, I think that's the the side that faces downtown. Then you have another door, I believe, that goes on the ramp at the rear of the house.
That is
So-
not a door. That is,
Okay.
that has been boarded over years ago.
Okay, yeah, we just didn't see a permit for the boarding, though, you see.
It was that way when I bought it.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I counted 6, but I mean, if the commission's looking at this, I mean, and they want to make a motion or to approve or deny, I would indicate that the commission should state something like, all the replacement doors that were installed without a permit shall be restored with, this approved door that does, at a minimum, mimic the look of a Queen Anne style structure, because when I counted 6.
Is there a motion? Not yet.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The doors that you replaced with these metal doors that you kind of like, I guess, or thought they were appropriate, they're really not of a Queen Anne style, so it's difficult for me to say those are okay. This door here really doesn't mimic Queen Anne either, per my understanding of a Queen Anne house. There's 6 doors in question, not 1. So it doesn't apply to the standards, and we're asked to tell you whether or not it does or it doesn't apply to the standard. And this particular door doesn't. The ones that are in there don't. You kind of did this on your own without a permit. Okay, so for me to give you a yes, it would have to be a Queen Anne style door.
Well, can you at least show me a picture of the type of door? That would be very helpful to me. If you could show me a actual picture, then I could proceed forward.
Yes, I have them. They're on my dining room table, and I can make sure I get to them tomorrow and get them to you. It's an actual picture from about 15 years ago. It was a suggestion for Queen Anne style homes, and I do have that for you. I can get it to you. My suggestion would be to table this. Let's give you some samples so you can replace these doors with Queen Anne style doors that we can give you a yes. At least I can give you a yes. But yes, I can give those samples to you.
Okay, that's good. I welcome that. But I also would insist that perhaps all of you, or at least Paul, do a walking tour of the house, and you can walk inside. There are only 4 doors. Well, there is a door into the basement, so I'll have to take that back. There is a 5th door that goes down into the basement. But I think at one time this might have been a funeral home. That's why there's a big concrete ramp there. And there was a door there, but it was boarded over. When I purchased the house in the mid-'90s, that was not a functional door. It was all boarded over.
Okay, and Paul, didn't we review doors last time? I thought we looked at samples.
Yeah, we did, but, I mean, if it's the body wishes for me to go out and take a look at enter the property with the property owner, I can go ahead and do that. If Commissioner Allen wants to provide you with,
Yeah, more than happy to. Yeah.
doors, and I can sorry, well, and provide that to him. That's not a problem whatsoever.
A little more guidance would help, right?
Repeat that?
A little bit more guidance would help.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and is there just one single Queen Anne's door, or are
No,
there
I think the
multiple
pictures
types?
I have relate to 6 or 7 different styles of door that are Queen Anne. And more than happy to give those to you as maybe a reference point. And so, you know, if you use that, would be helpful to you, I think. And then it would make it easier for us to approve fixing the house to make it maintain the Queen Anne style. And that's really what I'd like to see happen.
So if I go on to Google artificial intelligence, I should put in Queen Anne style residential entrance doors, I should be able to pull up pictures, you think?
Absolutely will. You absolutely will. You'll probably get more than you think you will. You'll get hundreds of them. But I have some pretty basic samples of Queen Anne doors, and they did come from the HTC. It's part of their artwork, not mine. But yes, you can find them online, and they're readily available. And then, you know, had you
That was the next thing, was the readily available part. Are you saying that I don't think can I buy these at Home Depot or Menards or?
I don't know if I can give you that answer. I do know that they are available through lumber yards, not necessarily a Home Depot
Right, maybe
or
an Iverson
perhaps
or
Menards or, you know, those are sort
one
of
of
big
Rochester.
box stores.
Parts and windows and
You know,
doors.
they're not really architecturally equipped to handle Queen Anne homes.
Okay, so we're going to table, thank you so much. But we are going to table this, and we'll get you I'm sorry? Can I have a motion to table?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Commissioner Clark, sir, before you replaced the doors, can you tell us what the doors that you took out looked like? What did the doors look like that you took out?
They were pretty ragged.
Were they original doors?
I doubt it very much. This house, when I purchased it in the mid-'90s, was owned by James Danford, who was formerly a city employee. It was a boarding house. It was one time known as the Chapman Lodge, and there were 11 people, probably more women than men living in there. And in my opinion, it was essentially inhumane, but that's what it was. But I didn't need this house. I needed the one across the street. But he wouldn't sell me that street unless I bought that one. Because I own Energy Shield out here. We've been here since 1977. We have probably 10, 15, 20 employees who have worked there for almost 50 years. So we had to expand our property. I needed that land.
I understand.
So that's why I bought it. I have no idea where they're original, but it was a pretty ragged house when I bought it, I can tell you that.
Can you describe the configuration? Was there any glass in them? Were there panels? What did they kind of generally look like?
I gotta get closer.
I'm sorry,
I got old ears.
and I have a soft voice, I'm sorry. What did the doors look like? Did they have glass? Were there panels?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I cannot honestly.
okay, you took them out the
They
spring.
were not exotic looking doors, I can tell you that.
Probably very plain, but
They were
did they
plain.
have glass in the top? Or kind of a half light?
Maybe, yes, I'd say they maybe had some,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, I'd say maybe a pound or two of glass up there.
Okay, okay. Just to get a sense, because the Queen Anne doors, they really do have quite a variety. I'm thrilled that Commissioner Allen will provide you with some pictures, because you do have choices for what's available.
I take it the doors I got up there, they're not Queen Anne now.
They're not.
Not,
Maybe a prince or,
no, they're no royalty.
okay. Am I done?
Thank you.
Commissioner Allen, did you have a question? Adams, no? Do we have a motion to table?
Commissioner Bales, I'll make a motion to table. I move to table this request for a certificate of appropriateness based on the Secretary of Interior Standards 2, 5, 6, and 9 for the following reasons: for the applicant to get some more resources on different styles of Queen Anne doors for reference.
We got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the next case.
Just needs better info. Needs better information. Well, I do have from the HTC from years ago, a sample of what they thought was.
He said he had one.
Freehand houses and things.
He did.
Okay, so this is 25-038, 23 Fairgrove. Siding replacement request, as well as a soffit, fascia, corbel, frieze boards, repair or replacement. So the property is actually off Perry Street, and it's right here. This is a picture of the front facade. There's a lot of trees in the neighborhood, so this is the best one we could get. And it's, as you know, a lovely street, so nothing against trees, of course. The dwelling is roughly a 3-story vernacular type dwelling, clad all in woodlap siding. The dwelling is in good condition, having some deteriorated areas of woodlap siding visible at the time of inspection. The applicant proposes the following: removal of all woodlap siding on the dwelling to install fiber cement siding. Repair or replace fascia, soffits, frieze boards as a match to the existing features. If they're found to be totally deteriorated, require replacement. So these are some pictures of the house. So now the house is interesting in the fact that, as you can see, this is the, let's call it the service portion of the house. So as you can see, actually this siding right here, this is roughly, I think we measured it, Janice says a 5-inch reveal, okay? And as you can see, there's corner boards here. And then here's another picture of the house. So this is roughly around the front door. And then front of the house, and when you went out and looked at it, obviously you saw the skirting down here below the, let's say, the portion of the porch, front porch. And this is a better example. So this has been repaired, but you can see the skirting out here. This is a side view of the porch. Again, this is another side view of the service area of the house. But as you can see these corner boards right here. But roughly, this overlapping or type of edging is more common on the house, except for another rear section of the house that we're going to go to in a minute. And obviously, it has their original barn at the rear. And so this is National Park Service Standards 2, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10 of the Pontiac criteria apply. So dwelling siding, the applicant requests to remove the original wood horizontal lap siding from the entire dwelling to install new horizontal lap cement siding, roughly with the 7-inch board reveal. And all of the edges to the house, the corners will be edge boards. They won't be the overlapping kinds. But like I said, in most cases, the rear service portion of the house does have the edge boards, but the remainder of the house really has the overlapping type items. Post siding will have a different board width, roughly, have corner boards installed on all sides, edges, and I explained the fact that there's both corner boards and there are overlapping boards, or edges rather, on the dwelling. And yeah, cannot replicate the skirting at the bottom of some of the areas of the facade, roughly the front porch. So these are the siding guidelines that you're very familiar with. So this is, number 3 is the one that the applicant's requesting. And fascia. So what the applicant indicated to me is some of the fascia, soffits, corbels, freeze boards, they are deteriorated, but they indicated that the items that cannot be repaired, the features rather, they will then be matched. So if any new type of corbel, fascia, so forth and so on has to be removed, the new features will mimic and match the size and look and everything of the features removed. So roughly, staff recommends approval for the following alterations. Repair existing siding, or if the commission can find that the siding is totally deteriorated and needs to be replaced, that's when the fiber cement product with the mitered edges or, the overlapping edges, as well as the same board width and pattern and so forth. And again, that's if the commission finds all siding on the dwelling cannot be repaired. And repair replacement of the fascias, so forth and so on, because roughly the applicant likes those features on the house and, respects them and wants to keep them. It is an exact match. So I'm going to let the applicant speak, and I'll go back to the pictures really quick.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jane Carter. This is my son, Richard. It's a two-family house, and we are co-owners, so we're here to talk to you today.
I'm not the second family.
So I was going to start by saying I also respect what you do, all for preserving the way that the houses look on the street and preserving the look of the street and all the historic areas. We bring our case to you because we want to preserve the home. We love it. I've never loved a home as much as I love this house. It's just the vibe when we walked in there. He had a kidney stone the day I viewed the house, and I'm going to tell you my whole story. I walked in and I said, oh my God, hold on, let me get him on the phone because this is incredible. And he's got the other half that's kind of a lofted. They did a really cool thing with it. It was a three-family. My side had
The French doors?
sliding doors. What am I trying to say? That I need to find somebody that can fix the tracks because I can't open them, but I can't like slide them back and forth, but they had closed them and made a three-family out of it. It was very well done, but now it's two-family because it's as close to how it's supposed to be as it can be. But we love the house, and I want it to be there for a long time. There's some wood you'll see is rotted. You'll see the pictures of the top are way worse than the bottom. Obviously, like under the porches, it's not as bad, but it's a lot of wood to replace, and to have to do it every 5 to 10 years as it rots and rots and rots. First thing that happened when we moved in the house, we had a bat come into his area. Michigan bat came out and said, you got to replace this with siding because you got gaps and holes and they're getting in. It's where water comes in, it freezes, it expands, whatever. Where it's not rotting, there's gaps. And I love the house. The first thing that when they told me the difference in the planks on the front, I was heartbroken. I love the way it looks, but I can't afford the 4-inch planks. The project is already obscenely expensive, no offense to the contractor, but we want to stay there. It's going to be more than the houses would be worth if I sold it between what we've got into it and what we would be getting ready to do. I'm not doing it to change the look. I want it to not be moist in there. I want to preserve it. I want it to be another 115 years and look as good as it does. And as much as possible, I want to fix those little walls in the front. I don't know if that was original. I think Paul said he doesn't think it is, but I love the way it looks. I want to keep it the way it is. The front trim on the house, it doesn't need to be replaced. We're going to keep that. It's got some detail, a little like a ridge at the top. Those we can just clean up, I think, and paint. It's not getting weathered, so that's fine. But you'll see from the pictures, there's just a lot of places where it's just. It's overwhelming. The amount of wood that would have to be replaced, and then, I don't know, 5 to 10 years to do it again?
Yeah, I think one of the main concerns that we look at with the idea of replacing with wood, it would be, repairing where necessary, and then in 5 years, we have another construction project and we come before you again. In another 8 years, we have to do more. And I think with the amount of deterioration that's happened, it's the original siding on the house that I think the strongest thing that we could do is replace it with something that's sturdier, that's going to last, that's going to at least get us through the length of our mortgage. As my mom stated, that this is, the kind of a forever home. This is something that, this is not an investment property. This is where we live and where I want to continue to live. I want this to be something that I can give to my niece, or hopefully children, that this is, something that we want to survive. But by doing so, it's hard to bite the bullet of having it be under construction every so many years.
And also, the carriage house in back, we would not be putting siding on that we're gonna paint. It's pretty decent, and it's just too hard to do with the doors. You can't put the siding on the door, so that would have to be as much we could replace as possible. But and then you want some technical information from them?
Yes, please. You can come and state your name and.
Sure. Ross Carey with McGlinch & Sons, Home Improvements out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. So I had the pleasure of meeting with Richard and Janice to talk about their house. I've been doing this for a long time. I have not met people who are more passionate about their house than these two. Just from perspective of trying to keep it as close as possible, understanding it is a large investment. Right now, we are at $90,000 to replace this with a 7-inch reveal. We are going to leave all the soffits and fascia, the porch detail intact. It's going to be painted with a polymer-based paint when we're done. The corner boards, if we're talking about if you're mitering those corners, we have to step up into the artisan lap siding, which is a thicker product, which allows us to miter. Mitering the standard statement lap siding does not work. So we would be doing the box corners, similar to the house that's right next door on Fairgrove that has the box corners with the Hardy that was done in the last couple of years. But a lot of the window detail on the front of the house, we're going to keep. Not really sure about what we're going to do with those railings. We're kind of looking for some direction there, if that has to be something that we have to maintain as it is now, or keep the railings down. So, I've had the opportunity to work with other historical society or commissions in Plymouth and Detroit, and found that to the same, that there's some give and take there about being able to accomplish what we want to accomplish, which is to make the house weather tight, to get the windows insulated around on the outside, clean up the gaps, but still keep it true to the aesthetic nature that the historical commissions are always concerned with. So I'm sure you're familiar with Hardy and the trim pieces and the siding. McGlinch & Sons is a 108-year-old family-owned company. We're the largest elite preferred contractor of James Hardy in the state. We're also the oldest. We're the highest rated at 96% on guild quality. So we are very concerned with commitment to quality and craftsmanship. As I stated, personally, for the last 8 years, I've been the highest producing sales rep for Hardy in the state. So I've had an opportunity to work with thousands of homeowners and helping them bring their dreams come true. And, Richard and Janice have the dream of staying in the house and making it theirs. And I just hope that we can, find an avenue to do that doesn't break the bank for them. Going to the 4-inch reveal is going to add $22,000 to that contract. Going to the artisan thickness for the mitered corner will add another $22,000. So it almost doubles the contract. And that's going to put it out of reach for them. As they stated earlier, in my experience in doing this, whenever you have a house that's gone through a number of years, it hasn't been maintained properly, and you start to get that wood rot, that just gets worse and worse every year, and you're just chasing it around the house as you go. And it's not going to take long before they eat through $90,000 of just doing siding and repair every 5 years. So I really think it's a win-win for obviously the owners, but also the street. It's another house that's done properly and beautifully on the street and good for the city as well. So, if you had any questions for me from a technical or contractor perspective, please fire away.
Commissioner Allen?
Yeah, the product you want to use is a total replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Have you any estimate of how much of this wood is bad?
It's been a couple months since I've been there. I would say probably conservatively 30 to 40% from what I saw from the upper levels and some of the skirt boards around, some of the boards on the front porch. And that's from the naked eye. You know, as you well know, as anybody involved in construction, once you start tearing off, you don't know how deep that goes. So that 40 to 50% could go up quickly. And it's something that, as Richard stated, they're going to have to do probably every few years, is repaint and remodel the exterior of the house, basically.
Have you considered taking the wood off that's there now and replacing the whole house with wood, just the way it is now?
That would be a question for the homeowner.
I mean, again, to the point, it's just how long is that going to last? We want something that's going to be there and no moisture's getting in, and it's not going to start rotting, and it's not going to start fading.
Well, the house now is what, 90 years old, 100 years old? So that original product lasted nearly 100 years?
I mean, I think some of this should have been replaced a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it appears to be that there are some repairs that have been done on the house in
Yeah.
various places.
In the back where the color's different, I think they've done. I don't know.
And we don't do house painting, so I can't even give you an estimate on how much it would cost to paint
I mean,
that house.
it's a lot of wood.
That's actually one of the considerations in looking into the hardy board. My understanding is that hardy board holds a better coat of paint longer than wood would. So the idea of having to pay someone to repaint the house every, 10, 15 years, I've never had to. This is my first home I've rented, so most of my life, so I don't know how often that goes, but to then have to incur more costs long-term, and then how much money will we really save even by doing that we're still going to end up paying over the next, 30 years that we live there.
The Hardy product itself is a 15-year paint finish warranty. It's a baked-on enameled finish. It's the same warranty that they give in Arizona, where the UV exposure is exponentially higher. So the chances of them, we've been installing the Color Plus product finish for well over 20, 25 years, and never had to go back and paint anything. It is paintable, so if you did get sick of the color, you wanted to paint it, it is. But a house like that will go 20-plus years without ever having to need a coat of paint. That's for the trim and the siding itself. So there is a maintenance-free aspect of it, too, that's appealing to the homeowner.
Yeah, and I guess my expectation, I don't know a lot about the technical details of it, but as rotted as some of the wood is, and the gaps that are there, what it's attached to underneath can't be in much better shape. So they're gonna get under there and have to replace, oh, by the way, we gave that estimate, but now we gotta get into this, so I can't even imagine.
And we
that
did
it's
discuss that. I tell all my clients, whatever we talk about, take 10 to 15%, set it aside, because especially on a house this old, when we start tearing off, you never know what you're gonna find. Probably a shiplap siding underneath there, but there is a possibility that there'll be additional, which they're prepared for. So, houses like this can be a challenge.
One more question for you. How are you going to deal with the exterior corner details? Are you wanting to put one by up on the corners and butt to it with this new siding? Is that the idea?
Kind of how it is on the back. Again, with this standard product, the statement
Right.
in the artisan, in this lap,
Yeah,
it's
all right.
not a miterable.
Right, so you're interested in putting one by corners on there and butting up to them then? That's the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever color this is just a standard Arctic white. If they wanted to do a monotone, or they wanted to keep that color, the color combination that they have there to kind of picture frame it, whatever they decide from that perspective, but they will be boxed corners, yes.
Okay, and then the window trim and such will stay the same?
Yes.
The window trim, so on the front, on the porch,
On the
we were
facade.
gonna leave the window, this window trim on the sides of the house. Were we replacing the
We're
window trim?
replacing the window trim,
Because it's some
the
of
window
that's-
trim and the door trim on the side. We'll keep the soffit fascia and the frieze boards that are there. The corner boards will come off. The window trims on the sides and back of the house don't have the same type of detail as the front of the house. So right now, unless you say we can't, we're gonna replace that with James Hardy siding.
It's just a flat board and it
And the
would look
same
the same.
reveal
Yeah.
that has. The problem with
We have one
leaving
window
it-
that has the dental molding in the middle there, and that's gonna stay.
The problem with leaving it, when you tear that siding off, sometimes a lot more stuff comes with it than siding.
Anybody else?
Commissioner Bales, I mean, we're kind of having a similar conversation with the first case we had today in regards to this mitered corner situation. Could you explain to me, I'm sorry, I forget your name. Why can't you do the mitered, and it's not technically a miter, if I'm understanding this technique. It's an overlap, a staggered overlap as you go up the wall. Why can't this hardy plank be done that way?
It's my recollection when I was out there that they are mitered corners.
These are true mitered corners?
That's what, and again, I haven't been there in a couple months.
Sure.
But I'm almost positive of that. It is available in the artisan product because it's a thicker product, but not in that, because you can see the thickness of that. It's not gonna hold. So it can't be mitered that way. It can be field cut with a diamond tip blade, and then it's sealed with the touch-up kit before it goes up on the wall. But it's not available to be mitered at that width, at that thickness.
Okay. And my second question for Paul, maybe, do we know if this back corner in the service entrance, is that original to the house, to your understanding?
You know what? That's a good question because Janice and I walked back there quite a bit. To me, it looked like it was original because I mean, and this is where I'm going to go out a little bit. This is a very expensive house back in 1910 to construct, and the service wings were the areas where the homeowner sort of skimped a little bit because obviously they're not the front facade or the facades that one would see from the street. And I think Commissioner Clark can probably say more than me about that. But when I looked at the corner boards, yeah, they did look original, to be honest with you. Now the one that's on the main body of the house on the side that I think there's a pic of, I'm questioning that one just because the main body of the house, let's say, except for the service area, they all have mitered or overlap corners.
I would say, having walked through around the house several times and been inside the house, it was all built at about the same time. That doesn't appear to be an addition off the back. Because it's got all the Queen Anne's returns, it's got all the same size fascia and soffit and frieze board, it's all. I'm old, but I'm not that old, so I don't know how long it's been there.
And you said that it is, I think I wrote down here, 30 to 40% of the wood on the home is in disrepair.
That would be my estimate. You guys are around there a lot
I
more
mean,
than I am.
if you look, the whole top area is, in my opinion, in disrepair, and then the whole side that's on the driveway.
Agreed. You've got separation, just like that. You've got degradation of the wood itself. You've got separation of the lap. There's open gaps. There's, a lot of areas where, another benefit of this is that, it's gonna have a vapor wrap on the house. It's gonna have hardy wrap, and the windows are gonna be insulated with minimally expansive foam. So it's gonna get some insulative capacities done to the house. They're gonna realize a lot, quieter house, it's going to be better insulated. There'll be some additional benefits for them as well. But the structures like that back porch, the front porch, all those main beams and posts are going to stay. We're not touching any of that.
I had one of the contractors recommend we take out the round poles and replace them with a round, like, why would you do that?
Just give us a moment.
So just from the pictures, and I can't tell, so in this photo, we can see the side trim that comes down on the right-hand picture, right, like the left-hand side of the right-hand picture. You've got that trim piece, and then it looks like that is up above on the second floor as well.
Yes.
Is that the only, I didn't see it in other pictures necessarily. Is that anywhere else, or is it just literally that,
It's on the other side, the other back side.
just on the, and those
Kind of goes around.
full backside? Okay.
And then on the other side of the, if you're looking at the house, part of the right side of the house too has that same thing.
Yeah, and the applicant supplied a ton of pictures, and we put them all in the application for you, so it's sort of, they're
You
very,
just can't see
they're very helpful with that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just couldn't see
I
the
know.
other, like how far, because that's my challenge with this house and the previous one is our new technology, we want to embrace it, we want people to use it, we want to preserve these homes. Unfortunately, some of our new technology doesn't completely match what existed at the time the homes were built, like the width of the planks. So,
Don't get me wrong, if we could afford it,
I
I'd go
know.
that way
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
no, and that's, in my mind, preservation and getting as close as possible with modern materials
Yeah.
is my preference, right? Like you're trying to protect your house. You happen to have some of the trim pieces, which changes things just is slightly in my mind, and same thing with the width of the board. If we don't have the option for a 4-inch reveal and 7-inch in either house, then in my mind, that's acceptable. I just wish the companies would get in line with what's needed for some
Yeah.
of the
Come on,
other
Marty.
corners, yeah. I mean, just to make that, because
Yeah.
the,
It is available, but it
But-
drives
Yeah.
the cost up significantly because it's less material per square and the labor and it's
and if I recall correctly, isn't it wider?
thicker.
It was thicker, and I thought it was.
Well, there's two steps to that process. For the mitering portion, it would have to go up into the artisan level, which is a thicker product.
And,
And the smaller reveal is a 5¼ inch board with a 4-inch reveal, and it's more product and more labor per square, and that's what drives that cost up. So that was a two-part to get to that solution.
yeah, and so then we get to the point of cost prohibition.
That would add 50% of the project to do those two things.
Thank you.
Question for you. Would you mind if I came by and took a look at this house?
No, absolutely. Please.
If we were to table this and come look at the house so we knew better? I mean, the pictures aren't bad, but it's a little,
I agree.
Yeah,
It makes it look good.
If it's possible to bring a ladder and look at the top, I don't know if you, because, I mean, you can kind of see the picture and is it the middle there? The top part is pretty rough.
well, I think your intent is to make it historically correct, and you want to use a different product than what's on the house now. And to be fair to you, the only way I can really tell if the new product would work well is to go look at it.
Okay.
Please.
So my suggestion would be to, table this, give us an opportunity to go look at it. All right, so it would be easier for me to make a fair judgment having seen it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a thought, right?
Yep.
A lot of the detail on the front facade especially, the posts, the railings, the corbels in the soffit, the beams on that, on the porch, all the soffits and fascia returns are gonna stay. We're not touching any of that from that, so that's not gonna change. It's just basically what it's gonna be is how the corners are treated and the width of that board.
And the gargoyles are staying.
Goggles or
Okay.
Commissioner?
Yeah.
I just wanted to note that, two things. The carriage house does have the corner trim, it appears, from the photos we have.
Yes.
I see that corner trim, at least on the one side that's visible, that would be visible from the street. So I think that's worth just noting. My other comment is the thicker material that would allow you miter would be too thick to match up with the trim boards that you're planning to retain. So it would stick out and cause some installation challenges. And so I think that were we to approve party board, there's definitely some kind of compromise that would have to happen.
You all know a lot about this stuff. Paul asked me questions, I'm like, Ross, I don't know. It's, I mean, I don't know.
Question for the general contractor. What would you suggest would be the smart way to install the product you're asking for? How would you like us to approve you treating the corners?
I would like you to approve trimming the corners with the block corners, the way that you see in the rear part of the house.
So a 1x trim on the outside corners and butt fit to it.
Yeah, so they come in 4-inch, 6-inch, so it would be it would be 4 or 6-inch trim, depending upon how, what we settle on. But yes, that would be my preference.
And did you say that we could do those pieces in the same color as the house?
If you wanted to.
So that it wouldn't be like a white trim there necessarily, it would be more, you almost wouldn't.
It just depends on what you want and what's approved aesthetically. Historically, it's white now, so, that would be probably what I would stay with, but. Because of.
Yeah.
And color is temporary and your choice.
Commissioner Bales, it does look like there's a house on the corner, I believe. You referenced that is similar in style and I think also has some hardy plank.
I think it's 27 Fairgrove.
The one right next to
Well,
us?
House
the
right
one
next
next
to the
to us, I think it was pretty much boarded up when we moved in there, and now they've got the whiter boards, and then there's a blue one down the street, I don't know the number, I'm sorry, but
Yep.
that's what I included in the picture, and it's got the 7-inch radial also.
Okay.
Or bigger, I don't know, it's the same, it's the bigger ones. I think that those houses, despite maybe not having the original materials, they're in all their glory. And I'd just like it to be in all its glory. If it's, one way or the other, I just feel like replacing, it would be literally probably every piece of wood, because I know they're gonna start stripping it off and there would be more pieces and, we can't attach to that. That's
then
shot too.
To not have to do it every
And,
so many
yeah,
years.
you're just
to
gonna circle
be
back
able
to
to
it.
just live in the house, because there's other work that needs to be done inside.
Getting that little at a time, steps need to be painted and
Okay.
some repairs.
So there was a recommendation that we table this to go out to look at the property. Do we have a motion on that?
Yeah, I motion that we table this approval for you, and so we can actually go see it and look at it and be very fair with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's the motion that I'm,
I love to show my house off, so.
yeah. It's a lovely home.
Yeah.
Do you want to add to the motion that, we're roughly going to be tabling the case to go to the dwelling so that we can look at the percentage of, siding that is in disrepair and percentage that is fine, because roughly that's one of the major items that the commission has to review is if they feel that the siding is beyond repair, that's where you can move on to, the replacement So that's what I would sort of add to the motion.
So that my motion is really to come determine the condition of the house now so that we can make a better assessment and help you, okay, maintain your home.
Okay.
And so that's my motion.
Second,
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Does that mean if you agree that we don't have to come back in October, or?
You have to come back in October.
Okay, okay.
Because roughly, we're, what do we want to call it? We're recessing this case until we make an appointment with you to go to your house. And then we're going to go to your house, we're going to open the meeting up via the chair. And then we're going to walk with you on your property per your direction. And then we're going to close the meeting via the chair. And then we're going to reopen the meeting October the 8th, I believe. And then the commission will start making comments and questions and maybe a decision.
Thank you.
And Paul, I would make a suggestion that if we have any more cases that have this potential,
Yeah.
that maybe that's something that's done prior to
Oh,
the meeting to avoid the
you want to,
the ongoing delays. that
okay,
we've
so,
seen.
so you're saying in other words that the commission would like to have a meeting at the house.
I think if we're getting into the situation
I
where
got
we're
you.
looking at the ability to repair or potentially
Yeah. The only-
replace when
yeah.
you can't get a good feel for it in
Yeah.
photos.
The only thing is that you'd be asking that we actually have the meeting at the site, right? Instead of having it here in the actual council chambers, or so that I understand.
Or if there's just a way to maybe meet, because obviously we're going to
I
meet
got ya.
before the October
Yeah.
meeting to go view this if it's
Preemptively, you're
necessary.
saying.
A preempt, yeah, just
A pre
That-
meeting.
in between and
yeah.
and before that
I
meeting,
can see if
just
we
to
can-
avoid
I
wasting
got you. I
time for
understand.
everybody.
I can talk to the new manager and see if she's, amenable to that, okay?
Because
Can you
it's 2 months then.
No, I got you. Can you email me and say that so I can just send it over to her if you don't
Absolutely.
mind? Thank you.
Yep.
And for the cases that seem like they merit it, if it's very straightforward and
Right.
you think that we can work from the materials provided,
Yeah.
but with something like this, it seems like we need more information.
Well, yeah, I think when it comes to siding, that's where the commission has to go and look at the actual material on the dwelling, or maybe a garage, and then make that determination, because it's much more easier, because we get all our pictures from the applicants. We can only take pictures from the right-of-way, we can't actually enter the property. So I understand that, and even if the commission wants to decide other types of materials that they feel they need to go to a dwelling or a garage or accessory structure that they want to look at, we can talk about that too. We'll just have to figure out how we're going to open it up and so forth and so on. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry? What's that?
Would that be a public forum?
Yeah, we have to put a notification out. Yeah, that's where we would, set up the meeting at the homeowner's house and so forth and so on. Now, they would have to give the public permission to enter the property, though, because obviously they're giving permission to the commissioners. So that's when, we all have to be given permission to enter the property, okay? Just like you did. Yep.
Thank you. All right, we've got a next case. To be determined.
All right, so this really isn't a case, this is a discussion, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so what
I
we
don't
have
know,
is,
I just see.
If I had to leave at 8, would be now a good time to tell you?
we are probably going to be done in 10 minutes. The applicant is a registered architect, so she's been in front of the commission, so she knows what she's driving at, okay, per se.
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't want to, have to leave in the middle. That's all.
I'm going to hand this up to you, pass this over. So let me set it up really quick. So, and I'm going to hand this over to the applicant, or I'm sorry, yeah, the homeowner rather, in a quick minute. So roughly, we thought that it would be interesting to bring this up as a discussion point because roughly, this is a 403 Saginaw, North Saginaw. This is a 1850s farmhouse. And what the applicant wishes to do is roughly construct an accessory structure to the rear of the existing dwelling on an existing pad. And she's here to sort of explain the material and the look of the outbuilding / garage / carport, because we haven't seen anything like this before. So I thought it may be a good idea to bring her up here for a discussion so that when she does decide to, if she does indeed decide to apply, then, she'll know what type of questions you're asking right now so that she can apply with, a direction. All right, I'll leave it.
I gave you a lot of data here. I'll try to get to it really quick. It's an 1856 farmhouse. Originally got it about 25 years ago. Probably nobody remembers Doris Smith. She asked me and my partner to take it on. It was considered a total loss by the city of Pontiac and by the state of Michigan Historical. And they recommended just tearing it down. But since we were asked, we spent a lot of time. Took about 6 years to renovate, trenched all the foundations, rebuilt a lot of the brick, ripped off the roof, sistered a lot of the rafters, put in all new utilities, and there were essentially the windows were all shot, so we replaced all of the windows, and there's some stuff that you can see in there. There was just a tremendous amount of work done.
This is a wood frame from 18
It's a masonry bearing wall structure that had suffered multiple fires, and the brick was pulling away. I had a sort of a retaining wall that was pulling that I had to repair, so it was just really a labor of love. So when I started, we ripped the garage down. It was collapsing, and it's been 25 years, and I'm getting tired of cleaning my car off, and I'd like to get a snow blower. So I would like to have just a storage area and a carport that I can park the cars under. The house is brick. It's a very peculiar thin brick, and I know you want to reflect the structure, but I'm not sure there were garages in 1850, and it was more than likely a farming area just outside of the downtown. So what I presented was a very simple, lightweight structure, which is metal, that you should have a picture of there. And then there's some examples of some older barns. And I know this is probably an outlandish request, but it is sort of an odd situation. And I wanted to speak with you before submitting a permit so I don't waste my time and your time. So I would like to get your feedback so I can be successful in getting an auxiliary structure up. It does comply with all the setback requirements and the square footage as well.
So it's the finished look that you'd like us to consider?
It's the look, the appearance and the material.
Yeah, the look of it.
Yeah.
If you're standing on the sidewalk looking at it, does it look appropriate or not? Or does it look like it meets the house? That's what you're asking us for, I guess?
Yeah, it is. It's a tough question. It's not easy. So what looks good to me might not look good to you, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least I understand where you're coming from. So this is a new structure. You're going to build a thing, and you want to have some approval or some idea of where do you need to go to satisfy us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right, that's great. That's clear.
So there's some reference photos of barns, and the manufacturer is a steel building manufacturer. The slab that is there has been there since 1960, and it does not comply with current standards, but I've been parking 2 cars on it for 25 years, so I really don't think it's going anywhere. I don't want to build a big, heavy garage on there. I want something that's small, light. I kept the height as low as possible, and I like the carport that you can see through. So it's as least offensive as I could get with the facade.
And something else to consider too. So our zoning ordinance does take into account the look of an accessory structure roughly. It's kind of vague. It says that the accessory structure shall match the residential nature of the neighborhood. So whatever, let's say this does go ahead and the commission does approve this, we will look at that as a portion of our zoning review. But I think that's important for you also to understand. Do you feel that this structure, is residential in nature and does fit on this lot with this 1850s farmhouse building house?
Am I correct to understand that this is a residential district where your
I
home sits?
back up against heavy manufacturing
Right.
and residential, so it's kind of a combination. It's a lot of,
Are you just north of Howard?
just north of Howard,
Fourth house on the left or the right?
on the left.
So you back up to the old openings building?
The old openings and the buggy factory. And I was looking for something more in keeping with the original intent of the house. I have an orchard to the side, probably about a half acre of gardens. And they're also just developing urban agriculture across the street, immediately across the street as well.
Well, I was in 40 West Howard for about 12 years, so I looked at the back of your house a lot. Just, FYI.
And I looked at 40 West a lot.
Yeah, I imagine.
Neighborhood has changed quite a bit in 25 years.
Oh, it's changed a lot in 10. Do you have a drawing for this or a
it's right
print?
here.
I see these, but do you have an actual blueprint of this? What this?
I don't have an actual blueprint.
Okay.
This is just sort of
It was just a question.
Commissioner Clark, I'm looking at the rendering that you gave us, this.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is for the time period, I think you're right that it would have been a barn on the property, but I have seen historic farm utility buildings that look a lot like what you're proposing. Just, driving around in rural Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, I see structures like this. So I can kind of extract a precedent for something like this having been there.
The color we picked was just as close as we could get to the brick on the house. And we'd like to go with the commercial, which is a heavier gauge. And then there's a profile of the metal panel as well.
So virtually, this is going to be a metal building.
Essentially. It's going to be a prefab metal building that would be installed by the manufacturer.
The buildings that I've seen, they were wood, just to
So that's the
clarify.
question for you guys. Is the metal gonna cut it? Or is it gonna need to be wood?
A lot of barns are going because of the upkeep expense and time for the wood. So I'm back in that same place again.
I want to respect as much as I can where we're putting it, what it's adjacent to, and I'm open to any recommendations that you have. And I really appreciate you staying, and I will be done before 8 o'clock. I just want to get your insight so I can have I can go through the process efficiently.
Yeah, because this is a discussion. It's not, you're not going to be ruling because she actually
right.
hasn't provided an application to us.
Well, I think I'll give you my opinion, and then I'm going to leave. I'm not real wild about metal buildings to begin with. I don't think there's a whole lot of quality with a residential grade with a metal building myself. If you live out in the country, all right, that's different, all right? And architecturally, you know, metal doesn't do a whole lot for the structure, which you know of, right? I'd be a lot warmer if it was wood and trim in nature that make it look like it was built many years ago, not as opposed to a new metal fortress. I'm not really warm with using metal for a residential area. It is my own thought. Just, you know.
What I would want to look at, because I know we get some pretty powerful winds up there too, and I just want to see what we get with the wood structure, because I will literally have all the snow picked up off my front yard and it miraculously places it in my driveway. So it's on a hill and it's pretty windy. I just want to make sure. And the span is going to be different with the wood as well. So if you're going to span that with the wood, you're going to end up with a taller roof line, and I think you have limitations. I was trying to keep it, it's at 11.5 feet right now, so I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. So I guess it's really give and take between metal and wood. Wood structure's gonna be larger.
I live in a wind tunnel area as well and can appreciate that. I like what you proposed.
Yeah, Commissioner Bales, sorry?
I just want to know if I have a prayer or I got to go back to the drawing board here, so I'm going to wait for your direction.
I have no problem with it. I think it's unique. It's a unique, I'm also a former tenant at 40 West Howard. Yeah, your house, you know, is always well kept. You know, it is a beacon, I think, for that area. One question regarding, do you know the zoning?
It's R2.
R2, okay. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it as this sort of barn-esque. You know, I would encourage you to even play with it more in terms of, I love that it's partially open, right? It's not just a metal building going up, you know, from Menards.
Because the storage is only, it's showing 8, but we want to switch it to 7, so it's very narrow
Yeah.
storage. So all you're going to see is from the side street, and when you look head on, it should be all open, and then you'll have a shallow roof.
Yeah.
Going from 8 up to 11.5, so. When we went with the other structures, I just felt like I was driving into a wall at the end of the driveway, and it just felt really
Right.
impressive.
Yeah, and I think you know, it is a somewhat industrial feeling area of town. If you've ever driven up there, Elliott Woodworking is up the road, Lumberyard is up there. So it's a unique place in town, and I think this actually works here, so.
I appreciate your time, and it's 1 minute.
What's the square footage again?
Of what?
The proposed
It's
accessory
under
structure?
660, I don't remember the exact.
Okay, that's right.
But the
Yep, I remember
carport
you
is
told me that now.
Under
Yeah,
660, which
yep.
is the lesser of the two. All right. Okay. I like your idea. Okay. I will submit an application. Thank you, folks. I appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jim. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been a week or two.
It's been a while longer than that. I didn't know you were in the city.
Second.
All in favor?
I like the idea, I really do.